Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. It's another chilly morning with coffee by my side and Luna cuddling next to me. I sometimes wish I was Luna, but anyhow, that's just me. Good morning, everyone. This is Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook. We are in the middle of Christmas and New Year's, and it is a nice day, a chilly day here in Puerto Vallarta, as you know. It is Tuesday, December 27th, and it's a special day for me. I will tell you why later on today, but let me welcome everyone that is joining us live. As always, it is a pleasure to see you and to spend some time together in the mornings. If this is the first time that you're joining us live, please feel free to let us know by writing the word new in your comment, and that way we'll be able to give you a nice little welcome. If you have something really important that you wish to bring up during the broadcast, feel free to add a capital letter Q to your comment, and that way we will be able to pull it out from all the other comments during the comment section later on. Today we have a lot of news, some things that have to do with holidays, cops behaving badly, Seapal not cleaning after themselves. We have an update on the Maya train. We learned a special word today, and we want to talk about apartment poachers. I don't know that or apartment snatchers. This is something that came to my attention just a few days ago. Are people poaching apartments in Puerto Vallarta? Are people snatching apartments in Puerto Vallarta? Could we be in danger of losing our apartment to apartment snatchers? That sounds absolutely terrifying to me. So this deserves one of these. Are we losing our apartments to apartment snatchers? We'll find out in a little while. First, the news. Local tourism authorities are thrilled because this past weekend, city hotels registered between 90 and 95% occupancy. And this number is expected to increase by this coming weekend. This, of course, means that if you choose to spend time out and about in areas popular with tourists, you can expect to run into a lot of people, or rather bump into a lot of people. So as English-speaking locals, plan your outings mindfully and according to your own wants and needs. Personally, this is the week in which I stay home so that all these tourists can enjoy our city. We have it for the other 51 weeks of the year. Speaking of tourists, Cristian Preciado, the new person in charge of the city's municipal tourism office since this past December 1st, so he has not even been in the job for a month, has revealed that Puerto Vallarta does not have a tourism strategic plan in place for 2023. Now, personally, I would not pin this one on an office manager who was put in place as an emergency because the former director of tourism was double dipping salaries. But it definitely makes me wonder what the former director of tourism was doing with his time, if not leaving a strategic plan in place for his replacement to implement. And unfortunately, I must say this does not surprise me. Now, what happens when you get stopped by a traffic cop for allegedly going over a red light, but your rear view dash camera indicates otherwise? Apparently, some local traffic cops are behaving badly in the vicinity of Francisco Medina Ascencio near the Cristal Hotel, where they are stopping out of towners and hoping to make a few extra tips, maybe? All I can say is if you are out and about driving your car this week, drive mindfully, drive responsibly, and as my former boss used to say to me frequently at Vallarta Lifestyles, cover your ass. And that deserves one of these. Members of Puerto Vallarta cycling community are pointing fingers at Seapal for having completed some work along Avenida Mexico, but having left the bicycle path that goes along the area intervened, unfit for riding and full, excuse me, full of debris. There's little we can do about this one unless we are using our own bicycles for transportation, but somehow it makes me happy to see that this type of reporting is increasing, and hopefully along with it, the number of people that use a bicycle for commuting and also for recreational purposes here in Puerto Vallarta. In national news, nutritionists around the country must be thrilled because Coca-Cola, Bimbo, Marinela, Pepsi-Cola, and other junk food and drink manufacturers are increasing their prices in unprecedented ways this coming year due to inflation. For example, your potato chips will be 13% more expensive. Your carbonated beverages will go up by 10.8%. And all those cupcakes you simply cannot resist at the checkout counter will go up by 23.2%. My waistline is thrilled with these news. That's all I'm going to say. And last in our news, President López Obrador has announced that Maya train trial runs will commence in July and that the project will be inaugurated in December a year from now. Yay! In a recent press conference, López Obrador, I said yay when I should have taken advantage of our woot. There you go.
Woot woot! Almost done.
In a recent press conference, López Obrador confirmed that the trial runs will take place in the stretch that goes from Mérida to Cancún, and because we love maps, we might as well revisit the projected route for the Maya train. There is Mérida. Let me point it out. Mérida is over here, and Cancún is over there. And of course, because the whole route needs to be electrified, this is an electric train, they are planning on electrifying this upper portion first. Now, this may or may not be the definitive map because they have said a number of times that they are changing the route, but this gives you a gist of what this train will do to our country, both in terms of freight transportation, but also and most definitely in terms of tourism. I can't wait to experience the Maya train, and I'm sure many of you are thinking about this as well. Let's take a look at the weather and see what is going on out there. Granny smirking, it's fucking sunny, says Carrot Weather. Oh my God, look at this. Humidity is at 33%. We haven't seen 33% since God knows when. The current temperature is 26 degrees. And our temperature in Fahrenheit numbers is 79. And our forecast for today says clear through the day with a high of 29 and a low of 19. Tomorrow, Wednesday, another clear day with a high of 30 and a low of 19. And then on Thursday, partly cloudy with a high of 29 and a low of 20. And of course, being the information geek that I am, I had to go and research this business of granny smirking, and I quickly realized what a merkin is. And in case you don't know what a merkin is, ay, 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 an artificial covering of hair for the pubic area. Who knew that they made such things? Anyhow, cold weather is not going away. In case you're wondering, the cold front that is affecting north and central Mexico is here to stay for a while, according to this post published by the National Water Commission just some 2.5 hours ago. So whip out your crochet needles and hooks and find yourself some coffee and Baileys and enjoy the cold weather. And if you are here to escape from even colder weather, well, it is what it is. Now, a little bit on a personal note, I want you to know that today is my Christmas and New Year's combined because today is my anniversary of arriving in Puerto Vallarta. 21 years ago at this time, I had only spent maybe 2.5 hours in Puerto Vallarta ever. I moved here sight unseen with all my belongings, and I arrived to stay temporarily in an apartment that I rented right above Pancho's Tacos, where I lived for 2 weeks. And I gave myself 2 weeks' time to find a permanent apartment, which I found on Jacaranda Street, where I lived for a couple of years. Then I moved to Loma del Mar, where I lived for a little over 10 years, which brings me to my present dwelling. 21 years. And after 25 years, I continue to be extremely grateful for all the ups and downs, and mostly ups, I should say. And I just thought I'd share that with you. When a lot of people ask me, what are you doing for Christmas or what are you doing for New Year's? I usually do very little, but if there is a date in which I end up being more reflective of life, it is definitely today. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend the day being happy for all the blessings, being happy for this project, and being happy for your company. I also want to talk to you today briefly about newsletters, and I want to share two newsletters that I get on a regular basis that make me extremely happy to read. Now, a little bit on newsletters, even before social media. Oh, no, I'm not ready to show you that. Hold on. Even before social media began, businesses and people and artists have been in the habit of sending email newsletters, and email newsletters are continue to be a great source of information for businesses that want to reach their clients directly and want to provide more information more effectively than through social media, because social media only gives you access to whatever you are randomly given by some um, I don't know, some computation out there. Whereas newsletters come directly to your inbox. And of course, you have to choose to read them. But I want to show you two newsletters that I get on a regular basis. And I'm going to tell you why I love them and why you may want to consider subscribing to them. The first one I get comes from Peace Animals here in Puerto Vallarta. And it is an amazing newsletter because it has all kinds of numbers. It starts by telling you how many weekly spading clinics they have, how many cats and dogs are sterilized. Then it gives you a breakdown of where is the grant money coming from, uh, who are their donors, who are the anonymous donors, how much money is donated at the neutering clinics, and so forth and so on. Um, then they tell you what they're looking for and what the money does. For example, here that says we're looking for sponsors of clinics. To sponsor one day is 550 US dollars. To sponsor half a day is $300, or a week for 1,950. There are so many charities out there that just stretch out the hand and say, give us money. But here they are telling you exactly what the money goes for and what it does. So there's a lot of information here. Um, then there's a little note from the president of the board of directors for Peace Animals, and tells you a little bit of what she has been up to and so forth and so on. Um, Lots of activities. And then this continues. There was a fundraising party that she attended. Then it goes bilingual. There is a bilingual section. This section talks about Ixtapa in English and in Spanish, about all the activities that they're doing in that general vicinity. And the newsletter just continues on and on and on. Now, why do I like this newsletter? Because first of all, it's beautifully put together, and I'm going to give you the link for it if you want to receive it. Number one. Number two, it gives more credibility to this organization than all the other nonprofits in town combined. And to me, this is an organization that I can definitely stand behind when it comes to providing information and transparent updates about what is going on with their activities. So, that is one example of a great newsletter that you may want to consider getting in your email inbox. The other one comes from our dear friend Claire from Galeria Dante. And of course, I got this newsletter from her announcing that they're going to have another Meet the Artist night this coming Friday, December 30th, from 6 to 9 at the gallery. And then the newsletter goes on to talk about who is going to be there, what works are going to be showcased, and so forth and so on. It tells you a little bit about what's going on in the restaurant upstairs, Divino Dante. So, again, if you are a business and haven't considered using a newsletter to promote your things, think about it. It's a great option to have. And if you are tired sometimes of all the clutter that you get through social media, subscribing to newsletters is a great way to go about it. Here at Coffee and Headlines, we publish a newsletter every Sunday with all our updates. So just keep that in mind. And now the last topic here is this one. Yes, the apartment poachers. Like, what the hell is this? Let me give you a scenario that was presented to me not too long ago. And can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? No, I have to go to this other screen. Hold on. I have to use this view. And why can I not show you what I want to show you? Here you go. So this scenario was presented to me the other day. That is way too pink, even too distracting, even for me. This is a scenario that was presented to me the other day. So you take a cab to go home, and once you get home, the cab driver may ask you something. Oh, that's a beautiful apartment building that you live in. How much is your rent? And without thinking twice, you tell the cab driver, how much is your rent? And then a few weeks later, you find out that your landlord has decided that you should leave because the landlord has found a tenant that is willing to pay more money for the apartment. And this apparently is apartment poaching or apartment snatching. People that are in the habit of asking other people how much they pay for rent so that they can then go to the landlord and behind your back and say, well, we know that you're getting this much for this apartment. I know someone that will give you more. Are you interested? Now, I haven't heard many cases of this. Only two friends of mine have brought it to my attention, but I wonder if this is something that you've heard about, if this is something that has happened to you, or if this is something that has happened to someone here in Puerto Vallarta that you know. If that is the case, we welcome your comments in the comment section, which starts right now. Let's start from the beginning. A very good place to start, said Julie Andrews. Lots of good mornings, which we love. Good mornings. Luisa is still eating pozole. You're giving me a craving for pozole. Pozole this early in the morning on a cold morning is heavenly. I may just have to go find some for myself. Let's see what we have. Oh my goodness, so early, but a great breakfast that coexists with huevos motuleños. That's wonderful, Sherry. Good for you for having an early start of the day. Let's see. Time to just breathe, says Liz. I hear you. Oh, a new person. D Realist Real Life Inc. New, finally made it live. Just moved to Puerto Vallarta about 2 weeks ago and loving it. Good morning, D Realist, and welcome to the cluster. If you scroll to the beginning of the comments, you will find a little welcome note from yours truly that says that we are a community-sponsored project produced by yours truly. If you have questions, there is a link with our frequently asked questions. If you did not find an answer to your specific question, there is a link for you to drop me a note. And if you wish to support our project, there is a link for that. And last but not least, if you wish to subscribe to our weekly newsletter, there is also a link for that. Moving right along, more good mornings and more whatnots. The lost week where you have no idea what day it is, everyone is not working, but there is one employee increasingly messaging and expecting a response. Okay, I suppose that is this week. I hope it gets better. Shop early this week. Don't wait until Friday. That is expert advice from our dear friend Michael. We saw the photographs from Costco. And who wants those lines? Nobody. Let's see what else. Louis says, no, not the snacks. Well, there's other kinds of snacks to enjoy, dear friend. Let's see. Thank you all for the anniversary wishes. Happy 21 years. Time flies when you're having a grateful life. Let's see. How long have I been in La Vena? Says Anca Bianca. I've been in this apartment for, oh my God, 6, maybe going on 7. I've lost count, but I've been here for a while. Let's see. There is a queue. Is your year-end prank special program at regular time on Wednesday? I have no idea what you're talking about, Ronald. We don't do that. Let's see what else. Ashley says, the missus and I went to Whiskey Kitchen and saw Gina and we left some Christmas gifts. I saw them. Thank you very much for your kind Christmas gifts. They are now sitting here at home. Albert says, never heard of that before. Well, again, this is something that came to me from friends. Alan asks, is there no lease or are people leasing month to month? Well, I cannot answer that question because I only lease my place and I lease it by the year. By law, an apartment owner cannot just kick you out. But there are situations in which the apartment owner can get ugly, or maybe your lease is coming up, and there's all kinds of things that can happen. But again, this business of apartment poaching is fairly new to me. Let's see. Have heard of people going into apartment buildings and renting out a few apartments and then re-renting on a platform and making a killing without the owner knowing. Yes, I have heard cases like that. This apparently happens with folks that want to profit from Airbnb. Um, Dan comments, poaching happened to at least three couples we know. One couple actually told us we took their apartment, which they only rented for 3 months. We rent year around and found it when we saw a notice on the door. So Dan is claiming innocence, and I have heard this story before, and I know that Dan found the apartment just by walking around the neighborhood. Um, Peace does a free 1-day clinic at the Sula Society Dog Shelter paid for by generous people. Well, yes, again, it's nice to see a nonprofit in town being open, transparent, and communicative of their activities. That's all I'm going to say. Let's see. At the pool, conversations come up on what unit you are in and how much you rent for. We always quickly change the subject, bravo, as we are uncomfortable to answer. Good thing now that I know about apartment stealing. Well, I think it's a common sense idea, Joe, to not discuss particulars about where you live and how you live unless you are doing that with people you know very well. Of course, there are a lot of people out there, I'm sure, that would like to brag about their view or brag about their low rent or this, that, and the other. I tend to be rather discreet about these things as well. Let's see, more happy anniversary wishes. Thank you very much. Um, Anca says Senaduría Nestora on Calle Roma 166 has excellent pozole. Yes, they do. I have eaten there before. It is part of. Oh, Maddie! Oh, Maddie! It's part of the Senaduría Row. Maddie, you have no idea. I've been talking to our mutual friend Eric about a El Tuito getaway. Maddie James has this amazing pizza place, pizza and panini place, called Provecho. And please correct me if I'm wrong, Maddie. In Tuito, downtown Tuito, and their food is amazing. It's great to see you, my friend, and hopefully I'll be able to visit El Tuito sometime in the near future. Thank you so much for chiming in. And folks, if you are spending any time in El Tuito, you must treat yourself to great pizza and great paninis at Maddie's place. Thank you for the hello. Let's see what else. Mihal says that they just say not something we discuss regarding rent with different people with longer tenancy. Rent differs in same buildings, not anyone else's business. Absolutely true. The Clusterinos. Pat says, happy anniversary, Paco. Thanks for all you do to help us connect. It is so much appreciated. Love to you and Luna and all Clusterinos. Yay! Yay. It is fun to be here. At least it is for Luna and I. There you go. Thank you for that, Maddie. It is called Provecho. It is in downtown El Tuito, just half a block away from the main plaza. You can't go wrong. And as you know, we've been talking about El Tuito now having a Sunday market, which is a lot of fun to explore. It is something that you definitely want to consider. Just spend the day in El Tuito, get there early, have great birria breakfast right on the plaza, walk around the market, walk around the town, which is really beautiful. And before you're getting ready to come back, I know that Maddie opens his pizza place mid-afternoon, so there's a full day of exploration waiting for you if you want to go for the day. Elizabeth says she likes this show. Well, thank you for liking this show. Yay. Yay. We like that. Catherine adds her 2 cents that this business of discussing your location is also a safety thing. It's good to be vague about where you live while in conversation with people you don't know well. This is, of course, common sense, and this brings us to the end of today's broadcast. Yes, it's a good place to be. at least for me. And I thank you for what is going to be close to 3 years. We're going to celebrate our anniversary again in March, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. For the time being, thank you for another great morning. Thank you for a chilly morning. And I will. What? Oh, I didn't know that. Psst is the acronym for a nudist group in California, Palm Springs Social Sun Tanners. Good to know. Next time I find myself there, which will probably be never because I have no reason to go back to the United States, I will consider looking them up. Today and tomorrow and in the near future, stay happy, stay kind, stay safe. Don't throw away those face masks, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow in what will be yet another day with interesting news for us to absorb. Have a great day.